And I gotta try to follow that cat? Normally, over the years, each time I've come here, I kind of just tell the truth. And it's really hadn't been that difficult to be funny at times when you tell the truth. But this year I realized on the way over here, I had nothing to say. So as I'm sitting in the back, I just jotted a few things down on the notes on my phone. So I'm just gonna go over quickly just how bad it's been for us, actually going back to spring. So first of all, on behalf of our administration and coaching staff, I'd like to congratulate our queen. It's a great honor, and I wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you for UL Lafayette for allowing us once again to play there. And thank you for the Kiwanis. I'm still not sure why y'all still invite us, because we normally look pretty bad when we play in the Jamboree. So I really appreciate that y'all let us come back. But like I said, I'll go all the way back to spring. You're right. The last 2 years, fortunately for our baseball team, they've been in the semifinals, in the 4A semifinals in baseball the last 2 years. And we have a large number of crossover with our football and baseball players. Last year, I had to put a running back, a quarterback for us to make it through the spring, because we had to play this little team down the road. Their coach is right there, Coach Ted Davidson. We had to go play that team in the spring game. Well, this year, all 3 quarterbacks played on the varsity baseball team. So we go into the season, do we want to cancel spring? Do we want to try to, not do it? But I actually still really enjoy doing spring football. So say we'll go through it and we'll figure out what we got to do. But like a lot of teams here, when we work our team offense and team defense, we do them simultaneously. We have each group on each side of the field. We have cameras on both groups. Well, this year, and this is actually true, for our first team defense, when the scout offense was running, it was our defensive coordinator, Chad Porcio, who was a quarterback in high school. He ran the scout team offense, and then when we went with our number 1 offense, I had to do it. All right, and if I go back 30 years ago when I played, I wasn't a quarterback even 30 years ago. So by day 3, it took everything I had to hide the fact of how bad my arm was hurting. I mean, when I looked in the mirror, I think I was walking kind of crooked. And so, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was pretty embarrassed until after that day, that afternoon, I'm walking into our weight room where our training room is, and I saw the defensive coordinator, who's 20 years younger than I am, and he was with the trainer getting stretched out because he couldn't pick up his arm anymore. So really, we struggled to get through spring football and try to, have some kind of semblance of any type of offense when we did it. And that was only a reflection of what was going to come. If y'all come around our school, you can see we're pretty fortunate. We have a brand new field house, weight room, locker room, training room, equipment room. It's a really nice facility. But we struggled back and forth to actually get in the building and actually be able to work out. And we're still not completely finished. But just a few things that have happened with the contractors. These are all actually true. The first week I get there, I didn't have any really say so in the design of the building because it was my first year back over there. And the architect comes in and she says, look, this was supposed to be a metal building, but when they decided to go with cinder block and brick and make it look like the school, we had to go with the thinnest allowable floor for your weight room floor, so you won't be able to lift heavy weights in here. So I kind of laughed at her, and she said, no, I'm serious. You will not be able to lift heavy weights in here. So I looked at her and I said, it's a weight room. And I want to lift heavy weights. And Coach Gaines is over there, and he knows, we talked about this going throughout the year, the whole time it was happening. So again, we have a weight room and we can't lift the weight we need to lift in it. So we had to order new platforms, which delayed us and which of course cost a lot more money. We've actually had to change our roof 3 times. The things that maybe weren't done quite correctly with all the construction. We're getting ready to move in. I see the principal running on the practice field. I was checking some stuff out, and he says, "You're not gonna believe this, but that really big, nice dryer that they bought for you, it doesn't fit through the door." So you have all these people with all these degrees that design all these buildings, and we have a dryer that we can't get into the room. So we had to go back to square one and start all over on that. And I guess all of us have kind of been struggling with this, but this has been probably the worst year I can remember as far as the weather's concerned. We scrimmaged Nish last week, who has a turf field, and he told me it hadn't affected them that much, but we really look like a team that's been in the gym for maybe 2 or 3 practices, where we actually got to practice outside, and when we did get to practice outside, half of the time we're running in and out. And it's not so much the rain that's been a problem with us, it's been the amount of lightning. And I don't know if Logan was there or not, but Logan definitely knows the story because we talk about this every year. We actually had a student probably about 10 years ago get hit by lightning on our campus. So I was one of the first guys there and got to see up close and personal what lightning does to a human being. And so when it gets any type of lightning close, I'm the first one saying my hair kind of stands up and we're getting out of there. So in and out, and we all communicate with our kids through the huddle program. A lot of us do that, where we can send out a message about practice. And it got so bad, we could hardly ever get outside. And the kids know how I am, that actually one of the kids sent a message one day, his kids weren't in school yet, and there was some more bad weather coming, and one of them put on there, well, I just saw that it's lightning in Texas and Arkansas, so I'm pretty sure coach is going to have us in the gym. That's the kind of year it's been. We actually got on the field one day, and I know Breaux Bridge is the crawfish capital of the world, but when we have kids actually, some of them are actually pretty scared of it, but dodging literally hundreds of crawfish on our practice field, that's when I knew that this is enough. I'm not sure if we should be practicing football or building a freaking ark, right? Because that's how much rain we've been getting over here. So as far as our kids, coming back this year, we're going to be pretty young on one side of the ball. We have our left side of our offensive line that I thought was going to be, one of our strong points. Unfortunately, we had our starting left tackle get hurt last week. So we've been scrambling around trying to find some type of replacements for him, trying to find, how we can put together what we want on the right side. And I think it didn't hit me until I'm watching our practice film of our defense last week. And we have our starting nose guard. Y'all gonna sit down, I'm telling the truth when I say this. He's a real strong kid, real thick, stocky kid, but he's not very tall at all. Because he's so low to the ground, our coaches decide, well, look, he's more comfortable in a two-point stance. And if any of the football guys, I don't know if I've ever seen a nose guard in a two-point stance. And so I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm telling you, he can really get out of his stance. He can play in a two-point stance. So I'm watching the film, and the whole time I'm looking, I don't see him. I can't see him past the center. So finally I said, well, where is he on there? I thought y'all told me he was in a two-point stance. They said he is. Coach, he's that short. So that's what I think we're kind of faced with this year. We're really young on defense. I think eventually some of those kids will be pretty decent. But we have a long way to go, especially with the weather. So hopefully we're not too embarrassing, because I've just watched a little bit of Coach Poole's film, and they have some very large human beings on their defensive line. I made that comment last year, but those guys from Parkview actually have nothing on the size of these cats we're going to face in a couple of nights. So the last thing, Logan, what I want to know, because I've been knowing Logan since he's a little boy, I'd like to see, unless y'all took this down, I had that, if you remember, I bought in New Orleans, that big framed thing for Vince Lombardi with his famous quote in his picture. I want to see you explain that to that kid that he coached at Cecilia. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all for having us.